What's up, Lorehounds? It's Koopa in the Harebrained Schemes booth. We are checking out Necropolis. I'm here with Christopher Conert, the CTO, and actually the executive producer on the game, so he knows a little bit about it. But to summarize, this is our first checkout of Necropolis. It is a roguelite, right?
Yeah, roguelike. We use both terms kind of interchangeably here, but yeah. So procedural and permadeath. Those are the two big things for us.
And we should expect to die.
Oh yes. This game is tuned to be very, very difficult.
All right. Well, let's get into our favorite thing, the lore, right now. So what's the hook? What are we doing? Apparently we're in a Necropolis, but I'm just guessing there.
Yeah, so Necropolis, as the name kind of implies, is a city of the dead. And in this case, it's a mausoleum/museum built by the Wizard of Abraxas many years ago. He's the most powerful archmage of all time. And he built it to house his conquests, right? His magic items, his armor, his scrolls, but even things like his magical keep that he wanted to keep for his own, right? So he's like, the red keep, I'm going to just pick that up, lift it out of the ground, and put it in my Necropolis for my own amusement.
Yeah.
You know, like you do. And so that's...
You're all powerful, you just collect crap.
You got to do it. So he's collecting all these things, and but the thing is nobody's heard from him in a very long time. So people are starting to say, well, maybe it's not so bad. We'll go check out the Necropolis, pick up a couple magic items from me or myself.
He won't mind.
He's not gonna mind. He's not even there. Who knows? So you, as the adventurer, find yourself trapped in the Necropolis, and you're trying to find your way out, find some loot, obviously, because you're a greedy adventurer, as we all are. And so you're going to get sort of introduced to the story as you delve deeper and deeper, trying to find your way out, find out what happened to Abraxas and the Necropolis. You'll meet the Brazen Head, who is the sort of caretaker of the Necropolis. The Wizard of Abraxas created him to sort of take care of the day-to-day, keep everything running, keep all of the monsters in there, nice little sort of cubbies that they...
So, but why are there monsters, right? Like, I thought this is where he stored his priceless loot.
Well, if you're an archmage, I mean, Gem Eater is just as interesting as a magical sword, you know?
So it's his Noah's Ark?
Sure, yeah, it's like, you know, I'm going to go down to the horrible death machine hallway this afternoon and see what, you know, horrible creations my master of traps has created. So, you know, you got to keep things interesting.
So Necropolis right now, we just ran through it. I died a whole bunch of times. I noticed there's no... You know, you may expect some sort of loot system nowadays and stuff like that. Sure, you have loot, but I had no idea if anything was better than what I already had. And oddly enough, you don't know.
Yeah, so one of the things we're trying to encourage is experimentation on the part of the player, right? You'll get swords, you'll get shields, you'll get magical items. You'll get some description of it. You'll get alluded to some of the powers that lie in it. There are, in fact, stats and sort of mechanics underneath that. But we want you to pick it up. We want you to give it some test swings. All the animations will change. You'll feel differently. Like some are faster, some are slower. Some are good against armor, some are not. And you'll have to sort of learn this over time. One of the other things you're going to get is using the tactics and the ecology of the world to your advantage. So Gem Eaters, as the name kind of implies, are kind of partial to gems. One of the things you'll encounter in the game is this sort of interdimensional crystalline infestation that is sort of starting to take over the Necropolis. If you get a Gem Eater and a Grind in the same room, Gem Eater will actually prefer them to you as a target. So these are the types of things you'll learn through graffiti written on the wall by some of the denizens who maybe have expired before you, through books you might find, and NPCs you might encounter.
So the lore in Necropolis is actually very subtle. It's not like in your face. You're gonna be finding it all over the place. You literally have to go look for it almost.
Yeah. So you're not going to get any cutscenes. You're not going to get a big wall of text or exposition. What you're going to get are items that sort of allude to backstory. You might find the sword that was mentioned in a tapestry that you saw previously in a different room, right? So the Brazen Head's obviously going to be inserting his sort of color commentary whenever he feels it's appropriate. So you're going to get a lot of sort of exposition just by exploring the world. You're going to see the throne room, for instance, which has 13 chairs. There's a story behind that, and you'll get to understand why.
Is Brazen Head like an adversary, or is he more like a dungeon master, or neither? He's just kind of like, I wonder what this guy's going to do in here.
So the Brazen Head is kind of a mixture of all of those things. So he's going to start, he's been alone for a very long time. He's essentially kind of bored. So he'll start. He's like, oh, great. Another adventurer. It must be 3 o'clock again. Okay, well, greetings, adventurer. Welcome to the Necropolis. And so maybe he's a little bit friendly. But really what he wants is entertainment. He wants you to sort of take care of some of the problem areas he's been having. Maybe that monster infestation is a little bit sort of annoying for him. So he's like, well, why don't you go take care of those gem eaters on level 3? Things like that. So you can do what he's asking. You can make him happy. You can activate some of the beacons, which will light up some of the dormant parts of the Necropolis that he's been having trouble with. Or maybe you would just ignore him and go your own route, in which case he gets a little more irritated. So he'll mix up how you engage with the Necropolis based on how happy he is with your performance.
So we know that you die, it's permadeath, you're gone, you start over. What brings you back in the replayability if you do finally succeed in getting to the end?
So we don't see this game necessarily as an A to B kind of achievement game. I mean, that is obviously a huge achievement if you're familiar with games like an FTL. That end boss battle is sort of famously difficult. We'd like to achieve that similar sort of feel, and there definitely is an encounter that you're going to be sort of excited about. But I think that the real magic of Necropolis is the engagement of it. It's the building that skill, building that knowledge, getting to experience that new sort of fresh take on the game that you've sort of come to love, right? It's getting that skill, developing that skill, feeling that sense of accomplishment, but also discovering new things every single time.
All right, so when can we get our hands on Necropolis?
We're looking at early next year for a release date. We haven't quite pinned down a specific date yet, though.
Awesome. We can't wait. We're going to check it out, and hopefully with some friends.